You can have that vote for a party like Reform in the same way that sometimes you did with UKIP in the EU elections.
You mentioned Labour there. Let's cross live now to Wales, where Sir Keir Starmer is addressing voters.
Well, bore da, good morning and welcome. Croeso, welcome to Carmarthenshire, welcome to Wales. In 2 days' time, we will know who the new Prime Minister is going to be. We will know whether we've persuaded people to turn a page on the last 14 years and to actually believe not just in what the other party, not just what the Conservatives have done to our country for the last 14 years, but the positive message, the change that we represent. I can tell you the last time I spoke to Keir Starmer was just a few days ago. We were talking about the difference we could make for steel communities all across the country. That is the partnership we could have. Two Labour governments working together for Wales and Britain to take forward devolution, economic stability, a new deal to turn a page on the Tory cost of living crisis. Change can only come if we vote for it. The Tories are desperate for people to do anything other than vote Labour, anything other than to vote for change. I want my country to be in a better place for each and every family. I want people to go out, no regrets. Don't leave it to other people to make the choice for you. If you want change, vote for it. It is time for change. It is time to win. Time to vote Labour. Thank you.
Diolch yn fawr.
Keep those pictures on the screen right now, but and we'll obviously go back when Sir Keir Starmer starts to speak. We've got Katie and Ian here, who are going to talk all things politics in a moment. Just keeping an eye on this, Katie, because Keir Starmer will speak in a moment. But what do you make of the Conservatives this morning? Mel Stride basically saying, kind of all over, it's not a case of a majority, it's stopping a supermajority. The Tories have thrown in the towel, haven't they?
I think it's really hard to look at all the polls, and particularly there was a particularly brutal Salvation MRP poll yesterday, and argue that the Tories have a chance to win. But it does create a dilemma for a party, because, as you say, if you concede defeat now, it looks as though you've given up. But I do think the Tories think their best line, which tells you about the state of things, is just warning about the size and the scale of a likely Labour victory. They don't really have much to say now, left of their own accord, and I think that's why we'll hear more and more about supermajorities between now and when, you know, these restrictions start.
Yeah. Is that healthy for politics, Ian? Have the Tories got a point that a supermajority is not ideal? You need a strong opposition too.
Oh, no, it makes no difference whatsoever. I mean, our entire system, once you have a majority of, let's say, over 30 seats, you can basically do whatever you want. How many times were the Conservatives, you know, with an 80-seat majority that was obviously whittled down over the course of the last Parliament, how many of those votes were they losing on amendments? You don't lose. You whip your MPs. As long as you have a majority, you will win. That is how our system works. It's not a very good system, but that's how the system works. The difference between having an 80-seat majority and a 400-seat majority on a constitutional basis is pretty much zero. It makes no difference at all.
I mean, I think it can change some things. I agree with Ian partly, but also, you think about the Tories, they won a majority of 80 and they had to cancel their planning rules, you know, the fact they were going to have the biggest shake-up.
Katie, I'm going to interrupt you. We'll pick up this discussion in a moment, but first let's hear to the Labour leader. Labour leader Keir Starmer.
Brilliant candidate, and will be a fantastic member of Parliament. And thank you, Vaughan. And when Vaughan said the last time we spoke was about Tata Steel, he was right just the other day. And I'll start with that because it's really serious and it shows the difference that a Labour government in Westminster could make here in Wales. Because when we saw what might happen in relation to Tata Steel in the latest development, Our first act was to get in touch with each other within minutes, to talk one-to-one, and then to set up a meeting to decide how we would resolve the issue and make sure we did everything possible we could do to save jobs in steel, to save steel here in Wales. And I will directly contrast that with Rishi Sunak. Because when Mark Drakeford asked for a meeting to talk about Tata Steel, what did Rishi Sunak do? He said he was too busy to take a call. That is the difference that a Labour victory tomorrow will make, the working together, two governments working together to deliver for Wales. That is an incredible opportunity across Wales that we must take. And can I say thank you very much for that really warm welcome. We've been on the road for many, many days now. It's the last day on the road, and to walk in here to have that warm reception is absolutely fantastic. Don't underestimate what boost that gives us all as we go into these final hours towards tomorrow. I was last here when we were launching in Abergavenny, and then we went down to Barry for an ice cream. It was beautifully sunny. Vaughan assures me that this actually is liquid sun here that we've got today. But it was absolutely incredible. And we've been absolutely campaigning with a smile on our face, a spring in our step, because we've got a confident message about change to take forward and to be absolutely clear about the choice at this election. We've now had 14 years of chaos, of division and failure, and the choice tomorrow is to bring that to an end, to turn the page and start to rebuild with Labour. And I've been saying throughout this campaign that if they're returned on Friday for 5 more years of the Tories, we won't get anything different. It'll be the same. And they've evidenced it in the campaign, because Rishi Sunak started by campaigning with David Cameron. Then he borrowed Liz Truss's programme and put it in his manifesto of unfunded tax cuts. And last night they wheeled out Boris Johnson. When I say chaos, division and failure, they've just exhibited it in this campaign. They've made, but nothing is going to change. You've just seen it in the last 6 weeks. 5 more years of the same. And that's why we must go through today and through till 10 o'clock tomorrow making our argument. Because there are a lot of undecided voters still, lots of constituencies that will come down to a few hundred votes that make the difference. And people need convincing about the change that we need. They need convincing that change is possible and that they can vote for change. And we need to be clear with them that if they don't vote for change, if we don't get a Labour government, we could end up with more of the same on Friday morning. And we do have to say, imagine waking up on Friday morning and the headline is 5 more years of the Tories. Nothing's changed. They'll be emboldened, entitled, thinking they can get away with anything. So we have to make that case. We have to say over and over again, change only happens if you vote for it. Change only happens if you vote for it. And we have to say with confidence and assurance, imagine a Labour government starting its work to rebuild the country, to make sure that we have the public services we need, the infrastructure we need, the chance for every child and young person to have the opportunity to go as far as their talents will take them. Imagine, wherever you come from, whatever your background, the chance to get on, and that change in Westminster that will make such a difference to the lives of millions of people. That's why we're here in the Labour Party. That's why we've campaigned so hard. And the special benefit, the double benefit in Wales. Because if we get a Labour government in Westminster, then for the first time in 14 years, we get 2 governments working together. not in conflict, not constantly seeking to undermine what's going on here in Wales, but doing what Vaughan and I did in the last week, picking up the phone, getting in touch with each other. How can we work together to deliver in Wales? What a huge opportunity we have. We've got to get out there every minute, every hour of today and tomorrow, all the way through till 10 o'clock. Fight for every single vote. This is an incredible opportunity for change across the whole of the United Kingdom and a double opportunity to deliver here in Wales for every single person and household. Let's go out, let's do it with that smile, that positivity, our argument before the country, hoping for that victory tomorrow. Thank you all so much.
So Keir Starmer kicking off his day in Carmarthenshire. We can show you a list of all the candidates standing in Carmarthenshire, which is also known as Carmarthen, where he was. There you go, the candidates who people can vote for in that constituency when the polls open at 7 a.m. tomorrow. We're going to chat to Ian, Katie and Mari about all of that and the rest of the day's politics after this short break. Don't go away.